Small towns, they're supposed to be quiet, safe, the kind of place where nothing truly sinister ever happens. But sometimes, the darkest encounters happen when you least expect them. It started as a simple errand, a late night walk down a familiar street, but in the stillness of night, I realized something was very, very wrong. That's when I saw him, and his smile. Some encounters change the way you see the world, and yourself forever. Let me tell you about the night when I came face to face with fear, and how I barely escaped. Grab a seat, stay close. Whatever you do, don't look away. I grew up in a small, tightly knit Hispanic town where everyone knew everyone's business. Life there was quiet, predictable even. We had our share of drama, of course, but nothing too out of the ordinary. At least that's what I used to think. Let me paint a quick picture of myself back then. I was overweight and far from society's ideal standards of beauty. I remember laughing at a meme once. Can't kidnap me if you can't carry me. Keep eating cake. It was funny at the time, almost comforting. Little did I know how chillingly ironic that thought would become. I was about 18 or 19 when it happened. It was late at night, and my weed plug had announced a stash and dash. Being broke and desperate, I decided to go for it. The spot wasn't far from my neighborhood, and I thought, I've lived here my whole life. I know these streets. Confident, and maybe a little naive, I said, why not? I called my boyfriend and told him what I was up to. He stayed on the line as I headed out, reassuring me, even though I could tell he wasn't thrilled about it. I didn't bring anything with me. Not my taser, not the pepper spray my dad always insisted I carry, not even the alarm he gave me. I didn't want to explain why I was sneaking out, and I definitely didn't want him to know I was hunting for weed. So, off I went, unarmed and oblivious. To get to the drop spot, I had to cross the railroad tracks. That area was pitch black, illuminated only by a distant main road and the faint glow of a nearby warehouse. As I made my way, I noticed a semi-truck parked along the road. Nothing unusual. Those trucks were always around. I didn't think twice about it until I heard a voice. Hola, hey. I froze for a moment and glanced over. A man leaned out of the truck's window, waving at me. He looked ordinary. Hispanic with a red long-sleeve shirt. The kind of face you'd see in any small town like mine. But his smile, it wasn't right. It was too wide, too eager, and something about it sent a shiver down my spine. Not wanting to be rude, I waved back politely. He gestured for me to come closer and started speaking Spanish. Unfortunately, I didn't understand much Spanish, despite growing up in a Hispanic community, and I wasn't about to explain that. I just called back in the little Spanish I knew, no hablo español, and waved him off, quickening my pace. What was that? My boyfriend asked to the phone. Just some truck driver, I replied, brushing it off. 40 minutes passed. No stash, no weed, just frustration. My phone was dying and my boyfriend was insisting I head home. I sighed and gave up, turning back the way I came. But as I approached the pitch black stretch near the railroad tracks, something made me stop dead in my tracks. The air felt wrong, heavy with an instinctive dread I couldn't shake. I told my boyfriend I was going to check the other end of the street instead. Maybe I was stalling. Maybe I just didn't want to admit I was scared. I walked towards the warehouse lights, passing shadows that stretched long over empty trailers. That's when I heard it. Movement behind me, and a low, deliberate, hey. I whipped around, heart hammering in my chest. It was him, the truck driver. The same unsettling smile stretched across his face. He stepped out from behind one of the trailers, his right hand tucked deep into his pocket. He angled his body just enough to keep whatever he was holding hidden. "Ben Aki," he said, gesturing for me to come closer. Every nerve in my body screamed to run, but my legs felt like lead. I muttered into the phone, "Wake up your dad. Come get me now." The driver's smile faltered as he noticed my phone. His expression darkened, his eyes narrowing with frustration. He stepped back, slipping into the shadows between the trailers. That was all I needed. I turned and bolted, adrenaline taking over. My boyfriend was shouting something through the phone, but I could barely hear him over the pounding of my heartbeat. I darted across the main road towards a small mini-mart and ducked behind an ice machine. "I need help," I gasped, hanging up on my boyfriend and calling a friend who, thank God, answered. Between sobs, I explained where I was and begged him to come get me. As I waited, trembling and hidden, I saw his semi-truck roll by. My breath hitched as he slowed down, scanning the area. His face illuminated briefly by the streetlights. His head shook in what looked like disappointment before he drove off. Even then, I didn't feel safe. Not until my friend pulled up, his headlights washing over me. I collapsed into his arms, tears spilling as the reality of what just happened crashed over me. His girlfriend soothed me while he drove me home, and for the first time that night, I felt a sliver of relief. Looking back, I was too lucky. That false sense of security I carried because of my weight or looks was shattered completely. I'm still haunted by what could have happened, and if I hadn't had my boyfriend on the phone or my friend nearby. To the semi-truck driver with the too wide smile, let's never meet again. This, my friends, is a chilling reminder of why we must always be cautious after sundown, especially if you're a woman. The world should be a place where anyone can walk freely at any hour, but stories like these are a harsh reminder of reality. My greatest fear is one day you too could become part of a story on Reddit, or worse, a statistic, all because of a seemingly harmless decision to step out at night for something trivial. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a like. It really helps more than you know. And if you'd like to hear more content like this, consider subscribing. Your support means the world to me. Lastly, if you've ever experienced something similar, I invite you to share your story in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching again, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.